essay. I used to do that in college. I would whenever I had to write a paper, I'd pull up the Word document and then crack open like a tall boy of like Bud Light. That's how it became my like favorite cheap beer because I would drink those all the time. And so I just had that, and it helped me write the essay. So,
That is beautiful. That deserves a oh.
ooh, a nice crisp open. What do
Ooh.
you got tonight, brother?
Not a beer. I have Ghost Sour Green Apple.
You're drinking an energy drink right now, dude? You're not gonna be
Yes.
able to sleep. We're recording this at 8 p.m. at night. In the dead of night. It's been very cold recent for me, man. What about you, dude?
It's been like mid. Like it was cold earlier, and like it is still kind of cold in like San Luis Obispo, but like in Paso Robles, it's like
Did we start recording?
yeah, we did.
I figured, yeah. It was just like, I didn't think about you. I was trying to remember if you said start, but then like you didn't, and then we just kept talking, and I was like, it might be the pod. But anyway, it's cold and slow. Welcome to the 9 to 5, boys. We should do the intro first, maybe before we continue.
Yeah.
Kind of. I guess we clocked in. I didn't know. Whoopsies. But
Well, I clocked in after clocking out. Like I just had work today, so I was in Paso, and it's mid. It's mid in Paso now. It's not cold. It's like room temperature, but it's raining.
okay, that's pretty cool, man. It's room temperature, but okay, yeah. It's warm outside, but it's not too warm. I don't like warm rain, man. That's a weird. It's very humid, and you get like you feel even sweatier, but you're also just wet from the rain on top of the sweat, and humidity makes you feel sticky. It's like gross.
Well, at least I get to say I can feel what it is like to live in Florida without having to live in Florida.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with that craziness.
Dude, it's funny. I just started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean again because they just released the final batch of episodes for the entire like arc, and all this like crazy stuff happening in Orlando, and I'm just like, this is like Florida on an average day. Like you don't even have to have like Bizarre Adventure in the name. This is just Florida.
This is just JoJo's Florida adventure. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that's all it is. Yeah, Florida. God, it is the penis of the United States.
It's the South's trash can.
It is the South's trash can. It is indeed. What's happened this week that's been crazy? Yee said some insane shit last week on like Alex Jones, bro.
Oh my god! When you make Alex Jones uncomfortable with what you're saying, you know you messed up. You
He was
done.
Alex Jones was shitting bricks because he just got off of a $1 billion lawsuit for some shit said over the past few years. So I mean, he's probably just like, oh, let's be a little cautious there, man. But no, he was just going full into it, man. Craziness. I don't even understand at this point what to do. He wasn't even right about who invented microphones. Hitler did not invent. I don't know. Anyway,
No, he invented a way to like get tanks like all the way through like Europe, and this answer is methamphetamines, baby.
yeah, he discovered meth, dude.
Yeah, he discovered meth.
Nazi soldiers would just like put on so much meth, and there was like, yeah, it's just insane. But yeah, and the shit that you said is just like, man, it's very out there. I don't even know. And then he brought Jesus into it. It's like Jesus is a Jew, man. Like what the, you know?
I also gotta love like the previous thing he was going on because it was like on the idea of black supremacy where it's like African Americans are the lost like tribe. It's not the Jews who are the chosen people of God. It's the African Americans,
I think
which
you were talking about this one episode. Yeah.
which by the way is not all is not true at all. Audience, okay, it's a conspiracy theory, but it is redundant because if he genuinely thinks African Americans are actually the Jewish people that are chosen by God, why the fuck is he like so hardcore Christian then?
Yeah, it's like I don't understand. None of it makes any sense because it's a manic fueled shitstorm.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but it's eventful, man. You know what else was eventful? My weekend was eventful, dude. Yesterday, these past 2 days have been like, well, this past I'd probably say even 24 hours, a little over. It's just been kind of chaotic. It's always weird when something happens to your car. But so like I was driving yesterday, and so I was on my way to the laundromat in the middle of the day, because I didn't get to doing it till like noonish, I think. That's when my girl left. But so I went to go do the laundry, and I'm driving over, and my car is like, hey, it gives me an alert that's like, hey, your tire pressure's low. So I was like, okay, I'll just check all the four tires because the weird feature about this car compared to like, so I drive a Nissan Sentra, and my last car was a Nissan Altima, and on the Altima it would tell you what wheel or what tire I should say needed air, and then that helped me locate the last time I got a nail in my tire, which is where the story leads to. Um, so I pull up at the laundromat and I check all the four tires because I don't know which fucking tire it is. And I was surprised because like the back rear tire was like a third of what it should be in terms of psi. It was like 10 psi out of 33 it needed to be at,
Wow.
which shook me. And so I was like looking at it, but there was no nail. So I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna. I guess it just wasn't. It was just astronomical. It was like all the other ones were at the pressure, and then it was that one. So I was like, it has to be something, but I didn't see anything. So if it pops up again, I'll look. And that was my thinking throughout the day. And I wish I had just looked sooner, because like, and then it was about 4:45. I was over to head over to my friend Revels, who was gonna have a housewarming party for just moving in. And so like I pull over again because the sign comes up, the little alert, and then I actually do check that tire, and it has a nail in it. I found it, so I was like, okay, I gotta take this to the shop real quick. So I took it to Pep Boys because America's Tires was closed, um, and so I drove over there, and then I got there, and they were like, oh, you have to leave it overnight, and then can pick it up in the morning, and like that annoyed me, but like I know it's not their fault. I was kind of just like I didn't want to have to deal with like figuring out another way to get to work, which like worked out fine this morning. It's just annoying because like so I left the car overnight because they were at capacity or whatever for the night, and they couldn't take it anymore, or they couldn't do any more projects because I went to them like an hour before closing, which is kind of my fault, but also like it is kind of my fault because I had this like sneaking suspicion in the midday about it, and I could have just taken it then, but I chose to wait till later in the day. But anyway, so maybe that's my fault. I leave it overnight, so then I'm having to figure out how to get to work tomorrow because I don't want to fucking pay for a lift. It's like $30 for me to get from home to work with a lift. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm figuring out the buses. So I have a pile of change that I just haven't gotten rid of. It's like $30 of various coins and assortments and shit. It's like crazy. It's like just pennies, nickels, dimes, everything but quarters is in there. Um, there are only four types of coin, right? There's penny, nickel, dime, quarter, and that's
Well,
it,
and then there's the
right?
half dollar, and then
There's a
the
half
whole
dollar
dollar
and a dollar
coin.
coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
hmm
that makes
hmm
six.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
hmm
But anyway, so I have an assortment of coins, everything but quarters, because I save that for laundry. And so I just dug through that bag, and it was the funniest experience. This is kind of a tangent from the story I was telling, but so I have to take a bus and the light rail to work today, so I have to do like two different things, which
Yeah.
like worked out fine. I timed it well. I was even able to just go get Starbucks and still be half an hour early, so it's like it's cool.
Nice.
So I just got to hang out, not worry about anything. But so the bus driver, he was funny this morning. I separated the two bags. I separated two bags because I was taking two different forms of transit. So I needed to hop on the bus, which like I don't know if it had increased in fare. So I know when I was going to school it was 250. But nowadays, since I haven't had to take public transit because I have a car, I don't know if the cost had increased. So I made a baggie of $3 each for each for the light rail and the bus, respectively. And so I get on the bus and like I pull out my change, and the guy looks at the change, looks at me, and goes, "Just sit down." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Bruh, that's fucking
He didn't want
G.
to
I
deal with
love
the
that.
coins. That was funny. He didn't want to deal with the coins. He didn't want to make the bus wait to count that or to make sure it was all to try and get it all in because it's a little slot, and I have again just nickels and dimes on me to make $3 or 250 worth was the cost. So I saved money on that, which was nice. And I did have to pay 250 for the ticket for the light rail, which thankfully I did because there were two security guards who were checking. I would have anyway. I'm not that kind of person, but like it is a good reinsurance. But then I was freaking out because I didn't want to be late for the light rail because I was like, oh shit, I don't want to miss this one and have to take the next one and worry on my way to get to work. And so like I hopped on and like I forgot where I put my ticket, which pocket, and so like I'm fucking ruffling and stuff. And I try to figure out what it is, and I was like panicking for a second because the guy came up to me, and so I was like, "Oh shit!" I dig through every jacket pocket, and then I was like, "Fuck!" And I dig through my pocket where I keep my wallet, and I was like, "Okay, it's right here." I pulled out like literally everything, in a panic, and he took it, or he accepted it, which was fine.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, and so then I got to work, and I've been like waiting all day for like the car. And they said like, "Oh, we'll get to it first thing in the morning." So I was like, "Okay, cool. Like, so it'll get done soon, right?" You'd think, but then like they texted me at 2:30, almost, and they're like, "Now it's done." And I was like, they called me at noon, and that's when I found out it wasn't just one nail in the tire. This was the whole roundabout thing I was doing for the story. This is a very I was trying to stay focused on just the tire, and then I went on the tangent with the bus. But the bus story is really funny. He was just he was just a G. He was like, "Fuck it, man. It's too early for this shit." It was like 6:45 in the morning. He picks me up. He's like, "It's too early for this shit. Just fucking get on, man." Um, good times. Yeah. Anyway, so then so I fucking so they called me about the tire, and they were like, "Oh, you had three nails in your tires," and I was like, "What?" And so they were like, "You had two in the passenger side rear tire, which was the first one I discovered was like had the nail in it. So I didn't know there were two in there. That was a surprise. No wonder the PSI was so low."
God.
And then they told me there was one in the front passenger side tire. So I was like, how did my right side? I must have run over a bed of nails or some shit. That's just bad luck, dude. I don't believe in luck, but like that's bad luck.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
To not just get one nail, but like to get three.
I'm
And how
just
did I
trying to think.
not notice that? Well, like I don't even know.
What are the odds of that though? Getting like three nails in like two of your tires? That's fucking incredible. Like,
The odds would be pretty slim. You'd think, you'd hope that people wouldn't litter the streets with nails and fuck up cars.
yeah.
It's not a very nice process because it cost me $70 to patch that shit up, which I hope works out. I went to the Pet Boys, so Pet Boys, if you're shit, I'll blame you, man. I'll be mad. I'll talk bad about you for the rest of the podcast. But
But if you fix this shit, we will represent Pet
I
Boys.
will. We will be asking for sponsorships from you boys. From the Pet Boys for the 9 to 5 boys, the 9 to 5 Pet Boys, dude.
The
It's
crossover that
perfect.
gets it right.
The crossover, dude, that gets.
The fucking nine to
uh,
five boys and the Pet Boys.
That'd be great,
Oh
man.
god.
But no, so that's been my eventful 2 days or like 24 hours worth of shit going on. And it's just been weird today. Like I was like, it's just weird not having your car. And like it brought me back a bit because I took all through college. I took public transit to get to school. I didn't like ever take my car. One because I wasn't a particularly good driver at that point. I'm a little better now. I say just a little bit. And then I'm 25 versus 17 when I went into college. But anyway, so what's it? So taking the bus for like the first time. So I've taken it for 4 years of college, but I've had a car for the past three. Yeah, yeah. Because I had my first car until a total of a year and a half after, and then I've had this car for a year and a half. Wow, that's pretty good. Hopefully I can make it through the holiday and keep this car a little longer. I should be cool. I'm very cautious these days. A lot more than when I lost my last car. But anyway, so
Well,
it's
again,
just
that's why
it's
fucking car insurance is like mandatory, man. Like, shit
well, I mean,
happens.
yeah, no, of course, stuff does happen, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I have insurance. Yeah, yeah, I mean, everyone should have you should have some form of it because like it's costly if you don't. Trust me, you don't want to build up. Like, I mean, the repairs that the insurance is paid for, right? Like
Yeah.
when there was this one guy who hit me. Um, um, he rear-ended me. That's right. I remember this shit. It was in the Alta. It was on the way to you guys. I was just starting a road trip, and it was like half an hour in. This motherfucker just boom hits my fucking bumper, and I'm like, well, shit. I need to fix this. It wasn't like damageable enough to where I couldn't drive home,
Yeah.
but like it was enough that I needed to fucking it was ugly and I needed to get it done and it could have been something worse because like he knocked it off of like the it was the bumper there's like the side thing above the wheel. I don't know all the parts. I'm not a car guy. Fuck you. Uh, so like, there's the part of the bumper that's above the wheel. He had hit the shit so hard it fell off and like, and yeah, it was like tilted and shit. It was like weird and kind of like off the thing. And I think he busted one of the lights. So it was like, the guy was really concerned though. I always feel, I mean, like, no one ever feels good about a car accident, and like I didn't feel good about the last one I was in. The last accident I was in was a year and a half ago when I totaled my last car. So it was like I was making a left at a stop sign, didn't see the lady coming. Anyway, it's the whole thing. Um, yeah, it was pretty intense. But so like this one, the guy was like really like fucking. He was like sad. He was like worried, and like also like the only thing he could give me was it wasn't a Californian ID. It was like a Mexican ID. It was like from Mexico, and so I was like, well, shit, maybe he doesn't like have like documentation or whatever. So like, he's a little worried there too. But he also had
Yeah.
proof of insurance. So I was like, you know what, it should be cool. And so I reported it and stuff because I didn't want to have to handle this shit on my own. It was costly. The roundabout way I'm finishing the story is that it cost me like 2K to fix that shit.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
it cost the insurance company that. I mean, I had to pay up front first because I wanted the car back because I was like getting it with the guy, and AAA was late with the check. AAA is a fine company, fine enough, I guess. It's not really a worry at all. And so what's it? So I got the car back, which was good, and then but it cost just for the bumper to be replaced and stuff, and for a headlight cover to be replaced, it's like $2,000. That's like a kind of excessive price to me. It seems like I don't know. That's just me though.
Well, you have to take into account like how much like a mechanic is going to make throughout the day, like servicing God knows how many cars.
And then he
For
has to
certain
buy
types
all the
of
parts.
problems.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then also like he has to get paid and actually be able to like live in the area that he lives in. So like you take that all into account. It's like, yeah, 2 grand doesn't seem far off.
yeah. But luckily, it was the insurance company that had to pay him. I didn't have to pay him directly.
Yeah, that is true.
But so that's why insurance exists. It's like for shit like this, and like it's a good
Yeah,
thing because then it would just be everyone would be going bankrupt over their fucking cars. It's like
yeah.
um
Did we already hit a
very
recession? Like, as I keep hearing that we're in a recession, but it doesn't feel like it quite yet.
I mean everything's really expensive. I feel like it's like really hard to live right now. So like I think we're kind of getting there, and then like a bunch of people are being laid off and stuff. So
Okay, well, that's definitely part of a recession. Like the shit you were mentioning before, that's inflation. Difference.
I mean yeah, but like that is that like a symptom of it, or I don't understand economics. I mean like I'm not. It's all just a social construction anyway. Let's just stop with the whole thing. Let's just restart. You know what I mean? We don't. The concept of money. We're very anti-capitalist on the show. We've talked about this. I hate capitalism. I hate the concept of money because it's like it's making resources unavailable for people. So it's like basic like shelter and food and water and survival shit. Like I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Well, no, we hate unregulated capitalism. Like you need an idea of capitalism to actually have like a goods and trades thing like going. Like it's when it gets like out of control and like everyone's trying to like get rich quick, then that's a problem.
That's fair. Yeah, regulated capitalism would be a little better.
Yeah,
Be a
it's
lot
like
better than what we got now.
how
But
the fuck do you think like all of Scandinavia survives, man? Like they sell shit. Like it actually is a capitalist society to some degree. It's just very heavily controlled.
yeah. I mean that's true. I guess
Yeah.
there's always something of value. Always something to be gained, and and they give and they're very good about like utilizing taxes for good services and for good service delivery. It's like in
Yeah.
America here, healthcare is very hard to get. It's some of the best in the world if you can reach it. It's also some of the most expensive in the world. It's very stupid.
Yeah.
Um, but so they all seem to be doing something right over there. But
Well, it's also because they have this
because they
like
treat people like people, I guess, is the case.
it's also because they have, yeah, like you said, they treat people like people, but it's a sense of like they don't have a heavily individualistic mentality. They have like a very,
Collectivist.
yeah, they're gonna help out their like pal,
Definitely. I
like
remember that from social psychology. Yeah.
Yeah, like here, it's like, oh, this is a land of opportunity, which means I'm gonna get fucking rich and fuck everyone else in the
Hmm.
way.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. That's how it'd be.
I mean,
Um,
look at all the fucking crypto stories that end with like massive rug pulls, and like whoever gets left holding the bag gets like royally fucked, and whoever's at the top like is just having the time of their life, sucking and fucking and doing whatever the hell they want until they get arrested.
what was that shirts go hard tweet? It was like the shirt that said "Cryptos for Virgins."
to
I think it's
some
accurate.
to some degree, yes, unless you're not holding the bag. Then if you're already like early on in the scheme, then you're having the time of your life.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is the only one who succeeds in crypto is the one at top.
exactly. And the one at top gets top. That's how it works.
One on top gets top to reach the mountaintop. That's my new
Exactly.
favorite word for climaxing, or phrase, I should say, is like reaching the mountaintop. I think I got it from Hancock. It's fucking funny, man. It's funny.
God.
It's fucking funny, man.
Now I'm just imagining climbing Mount Everest and just jerking off.
Doing like Homelander did on the top of that building in like what season one?
Well, that was season 2, I think. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh shit, I got it
Yeah.
mixed up.
They were debating to actually do that in season 1, but they thought, no, this is too much shock value. We can't like do it just yet. We have to ease people into it. Like it's like anal. You got to like go slow with a lot of lube, okay? And they had plenty of lube in season 2, so they were like, fuck it, we're doing this.
Yeah, I can't wait for season four, dude. It's gonna be sick. But yeah, reaching the mountaintop is like my favorite saying for climaxing nowadays. You say arriving a lot of the time.
Yeah, I borrowed that
Um,
from a YouTuber blog.
Blarg my spool. Of course, he would say that.
Yeah,
Um,
blog my schnoopel. That's his whole YouTube name, blog my schnoopel.
Blarg my schnoopel. That's
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
But yeah, no, he okay, so whenever he's doing a video and like he's talking about coming, like he has a lot of subtitles in his videos. So
Talk
like
about coming.
yeah, so whenever like the
As a
word
man does, talk about cum.
yeah, when he's talking about coming, like he changes the subtitle to arriving, like little asterisks arriving instead of,
Mm.
coming. Which
No, absolutely, yeah.
extra comedic effect because I'm just like, that's even funnier. Like I'm just gonna use that from now on. I'm arriving. Like
Arriving, dude.
I'm arriving.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna fucking arrive. And
This
then she
train
says back, arrive at your destination, yeah. It's just like fucking. I mean, that could add to the foreplay. Maybe it could be like some fake taxi shit. Who knows, man? Like,
No, I
oh
just put it.
shit,
No,
they should say that. You know what I mean?
I just hidden it from the back, but I put like a conductor hat on her.
Oh my god, that's the only thing she's wearing. Um, God. How did we get onto this topic? What else has been going on in the news this week? I was reading some NPR and I'm trying to figure out some stories. Let me see if I can review some from. I was reading someone doing the laundry yesterday because I wanted to seem smart and I wanted to just fucking doom scroll on Twitter or Instagram.
No, I feel it. I
Okay.
feel it.
What were the stories, man?
Oh, there's one good story actually out of the whole Kanye thing.
What's that, man?
Okay, so with Kanye saying all the shit that he's been saying, there's 2 subreddits dedicated to Kanye West. One of them completely shut down the entire subreddit because they're like, "Fuck this guy. We don't agree with the shit that he says. It's done. It's over with." Sorry, got
You're
some
good, man. Do your thing.
got some arrive in my throat.
Some arrival. Fucking go on, man. Fucking go on.
So, anyways, the other subreddit dedicated to Kanye West has completely pivoted into an entirely different subreddit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it turned itself into a Holocaust awareness and education subreddit.
I thought it was gonna be a fucking Taylor Swift stan account or whatever. Or
It
Reddit.
was for like 5 minutes, but only because like it was a reference to that fucking weird moment at the 2009 Grammys where like Kanye West jumps on stage and is like, I know this is Taylor's moment, but like Beyonce, greatest artist of all time, and I'm like, he's probably not wrong, but that's the weirdest fucking way to go about it.
Yeah, but it's like that's ripping away her accomplishment. She won a fucking Grammy, dude, and you have to steal the spotlight from her and be the topic of discussion for several years after that.
Well,
That's a
fucking
fucked up thing to do.
fucking jokes on him. Like she's out here living her best life, making an album that slaps, becoming a pretty decent actress.
And then fucking taking making Ticketmaster shoot up its prices and stuff. She's like a her roles. I mean, I've only seen her in Cats, and then I heard Amsterdam was bad, but maybe she was one of the good parts of it. Who knows? I have to actually see the film. I was very excited. It's a very stacked cast.
Yeah,
Um,
it
but
is.
but yeah, she's winning, and fucking Yee, man, Yee's off the hook. Life has its ups and downs, man. I think it's just mostly humans are just terrible to each other. I think like really again, we are such a knowledgeable generation. We have a plethora of ethics and of ideas and histories and all these different like seriously, some of the greatest like Socrates is considered one of the greatest minds. Um, and his shit came out in like 400 BCE. That's not even the same shit we use now. That's like
I know.
almost 3,000 years ago, dude. Just one guy still talked about.
Yeah.
Plato too and shit, man.
God.
Um, it's insane, dude. But no. I think that the problem is we have the internet these days, and the internet is like both the greatest information and misinformation tool. We've talked a lot about this. Is like you just people spread shit around, and they get these little bubbles and stuff, and they stay with the ignorance. They stay with this like idea, man, and it's like just go out in the world and hear somebody else's perspective, like hear what other people have to say, because like all of us have our own personal biases and stuff, and that guides then our perception. So it's like we need to hear like maybe what the other person has to say, and like I don't know. It's just like be good to each other. It's like it's not that hard. Jesus was literally talking about this like 2,000 years ago. He's like, yo, 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 guys, you got to check this out. We just be good to each other. We're all good, man. It's like it's cool. And he's
Yeah.
trying to sell that shit, and it wasn't like, and no one's fucking taking it yet. Which is annoying, but
No, and I think like another thing is like a lot of like conservative talking points. It's like, oh man, this is like George Orwell's 1984, and I'm like, okay, A, I know for a fact you haven't read the book. You definitely are just quoting it because of like the basic premise. B, this is if you're gonna compare it to a book, this is a lot more like Fahrenheit 451, which most people only know that book for the basic premise of book burning and whatnot. No one actually
well,
knows
yeah,
the
that's the one set in the future where like all the citizens are like consumed by media because it's all the thing that's all they observe in the home, and then the firemen are literally just people to burn books because it's illegal to own books.
exactly. And the reason why it gets to that point in the book is this is gonna blow your guys' minds, okay? In a near distant future in that book, because this was written in the 50s, so like keep in mind what existed as media back then.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
that was the invention of the television. That was about the era of that. So yeah.
yeah, so in the book, it's like a near distant future in which like television, radio, and newspaper, like it's all this like constant stream of like news media and whatnot. So people have these like different ideas of like what the truth actually is, and so they keep listening to outlets that actually keep pitching things that fit their socio-political ideology. Okay,
Oh.
you see where I'm going with this.
Hmm.
The medias they listen to create essentially echo chambers for these people, and it leads to like division and like violence and whatnot. So the overarching government in that book realizes, well, shit, we can't have that. So we got to like create all forms of creativity and freedom and have one straight media source that provides the news and information to keep everyone in control in line. And that's where the whole book burning thing goes in, because they feel with the creative ideas of like books and media like that, it would be damaging to their perfect society.
It would. It would make people think and stuff. And like, damn. I mean, that last part with the government stuff. I mean, it's definitely potential, but it's also like it is on like on some conspiracy level shit. But yeah, okay, yeah, that is more accurate to this day than like 1984.
Yeah, and it's like you're just like, oh my god, the echo chambers and like people watching certain and listening to certain news that fit their ideas is like this is literally us to a T. It's fucking insane.
It is bad, dude. I mean, these algorithms and stuff, man. It's like they're all It's not like really necessarily anyone's fault. Like it's just how business goes, right? So like these tools, these things, this computer right here in front of my face, this phone right here over here,
Yeah.
it's all like they're all built. All of the different applications, all the different services are built to keep your attention. And so like if you stay on it long enough, you'll keep engaging with it and keep seeing ads for other stuff, and it'll keep getting paid, right? Because those ads will be shown to people. And so like the goal then is to like provide you an endless stream of content so that you're just always using it and a form of content that's specifically tailored to you and your likes. Like on TikTok, there's a for you page based off your hashtags and stuff. And there's like, that's how people then on Twitter get into like these different circles or like these different maybe subreddits or things like that where people talk about these certain ideas. And it's for anything, right? It's for anything. It's for across the board. But it's like that's where it then becomes so separated. Is we're all having that uh, individually tailored media is what we're having, and so it's excessive and it's definitely dangerous, and I think it's going in a bad direction. But maybe we'll like get wise and be like, holy shit, man! Like we need to like cool it.
I think it's also because like there is also a weird thing where people take like basic business strategies that like no one's gonna take a risk on, like if you're gonna run a company, and then like make it a political free speech thing. And I'm like, no, it's just like here for example, like everything going on Twitter with like them losing money like crazy fast and Elon making quick, impulsive decisions. Like a lot of people are still praising him for being smart and blaming everyone else because it's a free speech thing. And I'm like, it's a basic business strategy. Like advertisers are not hedging their bets on like trying to advertise on a platform where someone might like, I don't know, repost a mass shooting or impersonate the same company that, they are.
Yeah, be able to impersonate the company and say some stupid shit that loses them hella stock in a single day.
Or like spread
Like,
dangerous conspiracy theories just because. Like it's like if you're M&M's for example, you don't want to like try and advertise while someone's like saying the N word in a post directly under you.
or
Like
like someone posted a picture of Mario with his middle finger up. Maybe I shouldn't have mine up.
which is
Um,
weirdly tame compared to everything else going on, but yeah.
it is, yeah, it's
Yeah.
same. But they posted that and made it look like it was the official Nintendo. So it was like, I don't know. It's very important to not do that shit. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's it's bad to give people that power, and it's like I don't know. Yeah, that's why they vet these verified ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They get a little blue check mark after what, like 10K followers, or that was at least the previous model.
Yeah. And it's like if you have a basic understanding of economics, like or like how to run a business in general, like you don't want to like try and advertise on a platform where everyone's just going to be like terrible to each other with no restraints whatsoever. If you're going to be like,
Unhinged, as it were. Yeah, and the internet is unhinged, bro. The shit I've seen on
yeah,
Twitter is insane.
yeah, it's especially nowadays with the whole like less restrictions and everything, which it's beautiful but also like incredibly dumb at the same time. Like I just love it.
It is fucking. It is fun, but it is also a lot of stupidity. But that's again the internet. There's just a lot of stupidity and ignorance on there.
Yeah,
And then it's like, and not all free speech is good speech. You know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
like it's not useful. It's not beneficial. Um, I know the term hate speech gets thrown around a lot, but like that's sort of like a conflicting thing. But like I mean, I think there's at least hurtful speech. Like you could say some shit that's like hurtful and harmful,
yeah.
greater scale.
I mean, shit.
So
You look at
there's
like people like Alex Jones who literally like brain poisons like so many people, and then like Kanye West shows up in his fucking show, and it's like it's the exact end game of what that brain poisoning does, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just totally surprised by this." I'm like, "No, you're fucking not. You know exactly where this was going."
you know what you're doing, and
Yeah,
it's like you can say what you like. You can say the most horrendous shit ever. You could say something that like makes I could say something right now that makes you need to edit this video extensively. But
yeah,
like um um but like it's just you have to also face the consequences. Like people are gonna react that way, like be like, yo, what the fuck, man? That was like fucked up. That's like horrible. Don't do that shit. I mean, some
Yeah.
people will enjoy it, and that's what's been happening, which is also like a little concerning. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, also like again, there's like I do strongly believe in free speech. I do believe in like shit. Like the reason why we have this is because again, free speech. We can like say the things we think and feel. However, it doesn't like, uh damage people to the extent where they're gonna like, rally up other like minded people or fuck, even like do something dangerous and violent in public. Like fucking shitter trying to kill some FBI agents over the fucking Trump thing, or fuck, even the Pizzagate thing, like way back when.
Yeah, yeah. Was there
Yeah.
anything that was like racially motivated recently? I feel like there was some violence or something, if I remember correctly. But
I think
I
there
don't
was
know.
a shooting at a Walmart. I don't know if it was like political or
Oh
racially
no, that was just
motivated.
like someone snapped. I think that was a boss who killed a bunch of people, right?
Oh well, not to you know make it acceptable or okay or anything, but it is a Walmart after all. So I feel like if that is actually the case, that was bound to happen.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
they'd probably be pushed to that point, but I mean, it is still tragic.
Yeah.
We do definitely the 9 to 5 boys. Feels funny to say that. I'm not going to say that full sentence. So we definitely don't condone that. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Um, we're just coming up with reasoning. I did. Here's one thing I did read this last week. I was trying to think of things to talk about. Is I was reading on NPR. There's like I guess metal singers, like heavy metal singers, and bands have so like doing really high notes, and so like I think the max range a human can go to, like with I think it's like through Tibetan through singing, is like you can go to like the sixth octave, and it turns out every bat can do seven
Huh.
octaves. Um, and so like the best singers in terms of like vocal ranges do like five or six, is what the article said, which is crazy. So we know that like bats sing better than humans, because of their echolocation shit is what they're doing and stuff. But yeah,
That's fucking wild. Wow.
yeah, I
Now,
thought it was fun to read.
now you got to
Thought it
feel
was fun
bad
to,
for all those like bats that fucking Aussie bit off the heads off of on stage.
yeah, that was a bit like that's a bit much, Ozzy. Like I get being metal as fuck, but like that was a bit that was a bit out there, dude. I'm not gonna lie, man. Um,
I know that compared to everything else he
he
did,
also did
that's
snort ants, though. I mean,
he did actually. Yeah, yeah.
fire ants, right? Yeah, he.
Well, he definitely sorted ants. I don't know if they actually were fire ants. That's what the legend says, and I feel like if he did actually do that, that would be the thing that killed him. Not all the intense drugs and alcohol that would do it. It's the fucking fire ants that would kill him.
Yeah, he drank a lot and did a lot of cocaine, I'm sure. I mean, how
Yeah.
else do you come up with that idea to like snort ants, dude? Um, but yeah, yeah, I feel like that would be deadly if you did that. Like, aren't fire ants like poisonous, or what is the deal with them?
Yeah, they're poisonous and they cause inflammation. So I feel like if you were to snort fire ants, it'd probably like close your nose and esophagus shut.
Then you wouldn't be able to breathe. You'd die from Jesus Christ. That's horrible. You die
Yeah,
from like suffocation, dude.
I know. That'd be one hell of a way to go.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be a fucked up way to go, dude.
fucking oh god, all this talk of death. I went to go see fucking Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and that was an emotional turmoil for like 2.5 hours. Man, fuck.
Really, it's like a good movie.
It's a okay. I will say this because Marvel has kind of set the bar like pretty fucking low for their most recent films. Like this was miles and miles like better than what they put out like previously. Like it is insanely good.
I need to go see it. Fuck, maybe that's the movie me and Kate go see. I also want to see that Disney movie Strange World. Strange Worlds, I think it is plural.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we should go see Wakanda Forever. I'll text her, or I'll talk to her like tonight.
Dude, literally be prepared to fucking at least like well up or full blown fucking cry. Like it is insanely emotionally hard to like
Well,
handle.
the one scene in the trailer that kind of like got to me is like when the queen is like, my entire family is dead. Have I not given everything? And I was like, fuck, dude, that was like a really good scene. She was acting. It was like fucking, and that's a good ass line.
But
Um,
there's like a whole opening and then they're having his fucking funeral basically. Like, oh yeah,
What
spoiler
if
alert, like Chadwick Boseman died, so they actually wrote off in the movie that his character, Black Panther, died.
spoiler alert, he died. Yeah, no, he fucking everyone knew he
Yeah.
died. If you're living under a fucking rock, you didn't know. He was really good in 42. He's a great actor and like a great person too, just a good human being. Um,
That's what makes that fucking like Make a Wish kid thing like hit so much worse.
because
Cause
like he was giving that to them while he was dying of it, so it's like fuck, man, he could have used a Make a Wish Foundation.
yeah,
Yeah.
like literally, like he did like a Make a Wish thing for a kid. He like went there as like Black Panther, Wakanda forever and everything. And then like the kid passed away, and he's like giving like an interview about it, and he's like just welling up. I'm like, wow, he really took this hard. Until like I learned later that he fucking dies of cancer. I'm like, well, shit, that hits way harder because he's going through it, and he's thinking, well, is this gonna be me? Fucking
Yeah,
unfortunately, it
exactly.
was.
He's
It
thinking
was.
about that, and then he's thinking about the kid. Probably did. He was probably like, he spent some time with the kid. He got to know them a little bit. It's like it's fucked up, and it's like
Yeah,
a little, yeah. And then I mean, he felt it on a personal level because he was facing that dilemma. That's heavy, man. Fuck. But
dude.
I hear Ironheart's in the movie, and I wish I didn't know that because then I could have been surprised. Like if I was just like, oh shit, what is it, Namor or is it Namor? How do you pronounce it?
Namor.
Namor. So Namor's in the movie, and he looks dope and crazy and like intense, and yeah, and the story seems cool. I'm really interested in hearing his story
Oh,
or
dude,
seeing it on the big screen. And that's exciting.
everything in the movie is just fantastic. Ironheart, I was kind of like on the fence. I was like, okay, I certainly hope she doesn't feel like she's shoehorned in. And no, she
Right?
is
Yeah,
not. She's the fucking funniest character in the entire fucking movie, and I love it.
that's awesome. Good. Yeah, I definitely want to see that character. It's not that I don't want to see her. It's just that like I don't. I wish I didn't see it in the trailer. And I think I've talked about this. Is like trailers can be too revealing because like the first Wakanda Forever trailer was sick because you just get glimpses. It's an emotional ass song because you're like, fuck, well, Bozeman's dead, and they're gonna recognize that in the movie
Yeah,
because you get that sense, and you're like, shit. So then you get a glimpse, just a hand of the new Black Panther, and you're like, okay, fuck, I have to see who that is. The second trailer, I mean, we all kind of knew who it was, but like it still
yeah,
showed, and it was like poor, it was annoying, and don't fucking do that. It's
yeah.
just wasteful. A good trailer gets you hooked with very little to show. Just my personal opinion, but definitely like it annoys me when they don't do that. Uh, it's fucking. Sorry, I'm answering a text.
No, it's fine. I get it. When they give too much away, it's like bothersome. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's bothersome. It's like it's fucking. It annoys me because I don't want to know too much going in. I want to be surprised by that in the movie. It would have been like, oh shit, the new Ironheart's like in the movie, like when I'm watching the fucking movie. And so it's
Yeah.
like, and so that's why I appreciate at least No Way Home. They did their best to hide Toby and Andrew in it. And fuck you. I'm not giving a spoiler warning because if you haven't fucking seen that movie by now, it's been a goddamn year. You don't give a fuck about it. So fuck you. Don't complain about it.
It's like anyone who watches like or was is gonna tell me it's like, oh, I'm gonna watch Logan. I'm like, well, it's been out for a while, and I'm sorry, Wolverine fucking dies. Like that's just how it is.
That movie's like 4 years old, dude.
I know, like, dude, the
If you're not
little
gonna
girl in that
watch it,
movie is like almost a teenager now. Like, come on.
oh my God, really? That's right, dude.
Yeah. Also,
That's
also,
crazy.
also, Wakanda Forever, like they have an end credit scene. They only have one. It's like just after the main credits, so you don't have to stick around for the whole thing.
Okay.
Because there's nothing after like the main end credits. Like,
There's no second end credit scene.
yeah, there's so like for every Marvel movie, there's always like the cool visuals and the credits, and then Marvel presents Black Panther, and then they have the end credit scene. Then
The
there's
mid
the
credit scene, and then they have the end. Yeah, the post credit. Yeah.
yeah, they have the post credits. There's no post credit scene. There's an
Okay.
yeah,
It's just the mid.
just
I
the
understood what
mid,
you were saying. I understood what you were saying.
and it is the most. I okay, like I'm not gonna give away anything in the scene, but like the scene plays out, I'm like, no fucking way, no fucking way. And then they drop the most important word that I hear. I literally stagger back in my seat like I just got fucking shot. I'm like, it was so emotional. Like, Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay, I do
Yeah.
have to see this movie. Goddamn, emotional. I was really hoping they'd handle the death well, but it sounds like they have a good director behind it. But I also worry with the creative control that Disney has. But I mean, sounds like they did a good job. So
No, it was perfect. Everything from like the themes from the first movie being carried on into this movie. Letitia Wright, like she fucking carries the entire movie, like with its
I really
grief and
like that
everything.
actress. She's very good.
Yeah,
I was upset. Was she the one who like she was not willing to get vaxxed or something for a while?
that's the one.
Fucking dumb bitch knows how to act. Stupid bitch knows how to act. She knows how to do her job. That's amazing. So don't lose your fucking job, man. Don't lose that paycheck, man. Um,
Oh my god.
good for her, man. That's important. And then I
Yeah.
also like who's the other woman? She's one of the warrior guards or whatever, and like she was Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, see, I feel so bad because I don't remember her fucking name.
I know it's something complicated, so it's like that's like I have to always remind myself like Chiwetel Ejiofor. Like I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but like
No, you did that spot on actually. That's amazing.
good. I'm glad I practiced a lot. Fuck me. It's. I
Yeah.
mean, I shouldn't make fun of names. Our last name's complicated, but like also, man, I also like Lupita Nyong'o. She's fucking great.
Oh, see, I every time I saw her in the movie, I thought two things. Oh yeah, that's her. And then I also thought, oh wait, shit, she's the one from Us too. Like shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
yeah. She's great in that movie. And the actress is Denai Carrera. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I know I'm fucking butchering it, but anyway.
she was
Yeah,
great
she's
too.
great too. She's
Yeah,
she's wonderful as always. And then Martin Freeman's back in the movie, dude. Oh, I've been waiting for him to come back, dude. I fucking loved his character.
dude,
He
and
was
we get to
fun.
see more of Madame Hydra too, which I'm like, yes. Thankfully, they're establishing her more and more as a character in the
Adam
MCU.
Hydra. Is that the one with the brunette who was recruiting fucking the new Captain America guy?
Yeah, it's the brunette
John
from
Walker.
Seinfeld. Yeah,
Oh wait, is she? Oh my God, I haven't watched. I've watched like maybe the first two episodes of Seinfeld, so I haven't. I'm not very knowledgeable in the show, so I don't recognize the characters as well, except for Kramer obviously, and then Seinfeld, and well, I guess she's aged, hasn't she? That's maybe the difference, because I mean I've seen the screenshots of her, so I guess that makes sense. I didn't even know that shit. That's
yeah,
crazy. She's in the MCU.
yeah. No, and
As
she's
Madam Hydra. That's fucking cool, man. That's cool.
yeah. I don't think they say her code name like that ever at one point, but like they say the actual like character's name, and then I'm like, oh shit, that's Madame Hydra, who has like affiliations with like Hydra, Shield, some like Russian secret organization called Leviathan.
Hmm.
So she's got so many fingers and so many pies, and now she's got her pie in John Walker, Captain America, aka U.S. agent. So yeah.
Oh wait, did I talk about this on the podcast yet? A really good movie I saw last week, Glass Onion, the new Knives Out. Did we talk about this?
No, no, tell me, please.
Dude, dude, I have to rewatch the first one, and then I have to rewatch this one again. But it's at least on par with the first. Oh my God. And I was really surprised. The cast was fantastic. I was really surprised by Janelle Monáe because I don't think I've ever seen her act, and she's another musician type. And so I was like, well, shit. What if it's like another Taylor Swift thing where she's like good at one thing but bad, like kind of mid at the other, and like, but no, she's great. Oh my God, and like I can't even give anything away, but she's just it's all this murder mystery. And what I love about the movie is it directs in a way where you're trying to solve it, but then there's all these twists and turns, and you're like, oh shit, you didn't know, and it changes your whole perspective. It's a great movie. It's fantastic. It's layered like an onion, dude. Um,
You've
it's
been
great.
sitting on that, haven't you? You've been sitting on that.
I was thinking about Glass Onion. I think it was like 2 seconds after you mentioned Wakanda Forever because I was like, oh shit, I haven't talked to him about it yet, and I was like, I should make an onion joke. But anyway, um, so no, it's oh my God, dude. As soon as I walked out the theater, I was like, I want to watch that fucking again right now, dude.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but it was only in theaters for like a week, and then it drops on Netflix into this month, I think.
Oh, well,
And
there we
like,
go.
yeah, but so me and Jack, we caught like one of the last showings, I think, and also it was a pretty packed theater. So a lot of it was actually really cool that that was a movie that was getting people packed into the theater. It was an original. Well, it's not. I guess it's not. It's a franchise now, I guess, because it's a saga, the Knives Out, cinematic universe or whatever, if you want to call it that. Which don't. It's gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
And then Danny Craig is always good. He's always got such quotable lines. He's hilarious. He's got this great Southern accent for himself. He's phenomenal. And the whole cast was phenomenal. Everyone in that movie was just hilarious and interesting and just really well done and and really well written and God, dude, I don't even know, bro. Yeah, I don't even. It's a great movie. It's yeah, yeah, and I can't really talk much about it because like I can't give too much away, but
No, I mean that's how I feel with the fucking end credit scene in like Wakanda Forever, man. And then also the menu. Like I don't want to give too much away. Didn't want to give too much away about the menu, and that's like a fantastic piece of cinema. Like that is,
I do need to see that too. Man,
yeah,
there's always a lot of movies coming out, and I don't always go to the movies these days, but I'm definitely gonna try and make a point yet we go at least once this week, Kate and I, but we'll see. Maybe we'll go twice. But
well,
I think
our father and I were talking about seeing that movie Blonde on Netflix. I know I've heard mixed things and definitely controversial things about the movie, but I will look at it from this perspective. With all the sex going on in the movie, it might be a way to like show how like terrible it was to be Marilyn Monroe with all like this whole sex symbol thing and everything, and how you
I'm
should
sure it's
be
an
disgusted essentially by like the behavior of these men.
I'm sure it's all an allegory for sure. It's a lot of it's fictional, I've heard, and it's not just like a lot of sex. It's like a lot of rape. It's like I've heard it's like really intense, and then they show an abortion scene and stuff. And like the Jack was telling me, it's from the perspective of the vagina, so it's like, oh wow, that's intense. Um, but I
Oh
mean,
God.
it's certainly probably trying to make a point, and I think it is a good point. It's the same thing that Pam and Tommy was trying to do. Is like I think Pam really got the short end of the stick because like it's that age old type of thing. It's like Jimmy Carr makes this joke is like, if a man has sex with a bunch of like, women, has a bunch of partners, he's considered a stud. He's a hunk. He's what every man wants to try and be. And when a woman has a bunch of partners, she's called anything derogatory like a slut or a whore or whatever. And so it's like, I think that needs to be noted. And like I think that's very much what happens is like, and then especially because like Marilyn was like a well, she was pretty talented. I liked her in what was the last movie she did? Some Like It Hot. That
Yeah,
was the
that's the
one.
one. That's the one.
She was good. I enjoyed her in that one. I mean, she was very
Yeah.
much playing just herself, which is totally, she does it well.
Yeah.
Or whatever version of herself she was trying to sell. And
Look,
so, like,
I
it is it's probably just a statement of like how challenging it was for her, yeah,
definitely, and I think
to
with
be
the
used that way.
Pam and Tommy like series, like it was amazing direction from the get go because like it starts off as like this revenge tale of this contractor who got stiffed by Tommy Lee on building his fucking ultimate sex room, and he gets stiffed.
Yeah,
He's like, well, fuck this guy. I'm gonna like break into his house, take his safe because I know it's got good
get
shit in it.
some.
That'll
Yeah, he's gonna get some money out of it, but then he finds the tape, bro. The tape.
finds the fucking tape. And then you're like, oh shit, this is how it starts. And you're still on this guy's side, like cheering him on. It's like, this is fucking awesome. Until you actually see the ramifications of the tape hitting the public. And you're like, oh fuck. He's technically the main bad guy in all this.
I think once I saw him break into the house, I was like, okay, dude, like, or like once, it wasn't even that. I don't think it was. I think the antithesis of where I like decided like, hey man, you're doing kind of like a bad thing here. It's like when he decided to use the tape for money. It was like to try and like market it and make it a profit for himself, a stolen piece of property. And like, I mean, like again, so one can argue maybe you shouldn't be filming yourself having sex, but like humans are stupid and horny, and so we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so I've sent plenty of like dick pic before and like other things, and so it's like, Anyway, so but like again, like I don't think it's right to be doing something with it. So I think that's where he like lost me. I was like, okay, I get you trying to get back at Tommy. He was an asshole. He was a big asshole. And I
Yeah.
read the article too to compare to the show. It was very funny from the perspective how much they portrayed and stuff. But yeah, no, that was a great show. And then it really, I again, it shifts all these perspectives and it balances them really well. It's like Rand Goodyear is this guy trying to get back at Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee is just trying to have a good time with his wife. His wife is just trying to be a big time actress and not be known for her titties. And then also
Yeah.
Tommy Lee's trying to relive his glory days, and like Rand is just trying to like make it in the world and make a buck and feel valued for once. Uh, and it's like it balances those perspectives really well. So you do see the flaws in these characters, except for Pam. I think yeah, Pam was like the ultimate victim. She had no flaws. She had no issues. She had no qualms in the whole thing.
Yeah.
She was just trying to live her life and live her best life if she could. But but yeah, but it balanced the perspectives really well and showed us each component of who's impacted and how they're impacted too. And it's like and where you can understand where Rand is coming from and why he would go to that length of like hurting somebody because he did hurt somebody and he didn't
Yeah.
realize that until after. And it's like I really hope that that part of the portrayal is true. He'll like gain some empathy and be like, oh shit, like I made her feel horrible. Like how could I do that to her? She wasn't. She was like not the intended target. It was Tommy, man, that he was trying to be an asshole to. But
Yeah.
anyway. But and then yeah, but it's a great show. If you haven't checked it out, yeah, definitely check it out. It's also really a good show that like educates me at least on the perspective of the internet because like I grew up with the internet. This was birthed into Tom and Pam and Tommy's life, and so they didn't know anything about it. I know quite a number of things about it. That's why I philosophize on it. But
Yeah.
I think that's about our hour. Should we clock out here, man? That's our shift.
I would say, yeah, that wraps it up. So this was the 9 to 5 boys signing out.